Now I request Swami Atmapriyanandaji Maharaj, Vice Chancellor, Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda University, to welcome the gathering.
Om yaschandasa mrishabho vishwarupah chandobhyodhyamritaat sambabhuva samendro medhaya aspranotu amritasya devadharano bhuyasam shariram me vicharshanam jihva me madhumattama karnaabhyam bhuri visruvam brahmanah koshosi medhaya pihitah shrutam me gopaya om shanti 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 harihi om tam deshikendram paramam pavitram vishvasya palam madhuram yatindram hitaya nrinam naramurtimantam viveka anandamaham namami namah shri yatirajaya vivekananda suraye satchit sukhaswarupaya swamine tapaharine paratatve sadalino Ramakrishna samagyaya yo dharmasthapanaраto Viresham tam namamyaham. Revered Swami Suhitanandaji Maharaj, the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Math and the Ramakrishna Mission, who is also the Chancellor of the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda University, Swami Abhiramanandaji, who is the administrative head of the two faculties which are being conducted here in this campus, and the Secretary of Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya, which is a branch center of the Ramakrishna Mission, headquartered at Beluru Math, Brahmachari Paramartha Chaitanyaji, who is the Assistant Administrative Head, and our guest in chief today, Dr. Srimati Jayanti S. Ravi, who till recently was the Commissioner of Higher Education and Technical Education in Gujrat. For long 6 years, she had vast experience in the field of education, and very recently she has taken over as the Commissioner of Labour of the Government of Gujrat. Dr. S. Allegation, who is one of our very senior faculty members and the head of the Faculty of General and Adapted Physical Education and Yoga, Dr. N. Muttaya, who is the Honorary Dean of the Faculty of Disability Management and Special Education in Coimbatore Campus of the University, and the revered monks, the brahmacharis, the faculty members, invited guests, and my very, very dear students, particularly those who are receiving their degrees and diplomas today. It is a matter of great privilege and honor for me to invite all of you, to welcome all of you to this joyous occasion in which we will be awarding degrees and diplomas to the students who have been declared successful in the respective examinations which were conducted by this university, and in recognition of their successful completion, they will be awarded degrees today by Swami Suhitanandaji, the Chancellor, and the guest in chief, Dr. Srimati Jayanti S. Ravi. We are always fond of repeating Swami Vivekananda's prophecy. I have been repeating this like a parrot for several years now. And this is one remarkable statement by Swami Vivekananda which has inspired hundreds of thousands of his devotees, admirers, monks, followers. The statement being the following: just a couple of days before he passed away in Mahasamadhi, which was on the 4th of July 1902, Nivedita had come to meet him at Beluru Math. Nivedita has started a school for girls in those days and found it very difficult to run this school. The girls wouldn't come to education. Education was a taboo for girl children in those days. They will come for a couple of days and run away. Nivedita had to go from house to house to pick up girls and bring them to education. Sometimes she was feeling very upset, frustrated. She had come to her guru to ask for advice and counsel and guidance. What kind of courses should be started which will be useful for Indian students of those days. The story goes that Swami Vivekananda listened to her for a long time, didn't utter a single word, and at the end he said, "You see, perhaps you may introduce these courses and perhaps not. My mind is no longer on such things. I am preparing for death. But you should eat with me today your meals." After Nivedita had eaten, Swami Vivekananda himself poured water in her hands to wash, to which she protested very much the disciple, saying, "Swamiji, I can't bear this. You do this to me, I am your disciple." Swamiji smiled and said, "But you see, Jesus the Christ washed the feet of his disciples." Nivedita just had it in the tip of her tongue to say that was the last time they ever met. And Nivedita never met him again. On that day, Swami Vivekananda spoke of the Belur Math turning into university by saying, the spiritual impact which has come to Belur Math will last 1500 years and this will be a great university. Do not think I imagine it, I see it. This sentence has been inspiring the followers of Vivekananda since then. What kind of university Swamiji could have envisaged? Certainly not the run-of-the-mill university in which conventional examinations will be held, classes will be held, and degrees will be awarded. What kind of education that he wanted to be imparted with this university? Was it a religious university? Was it a monastic university? Swami Vivekananda himself, in the last day of his life, during a walk with his dear brother disciple Swami Premananda, said, by combining the spiritual wisdom and the deep inwardness, the contemplative awareness of India and the East with the science and technology of the West, we should create a university combining the best elements of the East and the West. He showed the grounds on which this university will be established, and we very fondly think that the very ground which was marked by Swamiji in those days is the place in which the university has come up. Several years passed, decades passed, lot of water has flowed down the Ganges. There was no conclusion about what kind of university Swamiji could have envisioned or envisaged. Debates went on. The university proposal concretized in 1963 during the centenary of Swami Vivekananda. A concrete proposal and plans were submitted to the government, but it did not materialize at that time. UGC had just been formed, the country had become free, and the government of India said, we shall not create a university in any person's name. Again, lot of water flowed down the Ganges. The idea of the university came up, surfaced, again sank, resurfaced, again sank, but did not drown. 2004, again the Ramakrishna Mission governing body constituted an exploratory committee of which I was made the convener. So we approached the government with a proposal to start a university, and this time very strangely the government of India responded with an alacrity and speed which was remarkable and astonishing. When such things happen, we always invoke the divine blessings and say it is a short of a miracle which could have happened only by the will of God. Holy Mother Sharada Devi's 150th birth celebrations were happening all over India and abroad, and we were in the thick of their celebrations at Belur Math, and Mother granted Naren's University on that historic occasion of January 2005. Once again, we thought, what kind of courses this university should offer. By divine will, we always use this phrase when we can't really find out the reason behind certain things happening. We chose certain thrust areas for this university based upon 3 fundamental criteria. 1, these thrust areas should be in effect gap areas, in the sense that these areas are not addressed by any conventional university in India. 2, Ramakrishna Mission should have developed sufficient expertise in its institutions all over the country in these areas. 3, these areas should create new knowledge on the one hand and be directly beneficial to the common man on the other. As all of you know, Swami Vivekananda repeatedly said that educated people who do not care for the common man's welfare are not worth their name. In a mood of indignation, he said, in Madras, the university is just overlooking the sea, as all of you know, and the Senate Hall, where convocation is being held, is just at the seashore. Swamiji must have perhaps mentioned this. He says, is there not water enough in the sea to drown you, your gowns and diplomas and degrees and all that? What are you doing to the poor brethren at whose cost you have had his education? As long as millions live in poverty and ignorance, I hold every man a traitor who, having been educated at the expense of the poor masses, pays not the least heed to them. Those are Swamiji's powerful words. If an educated person does not care for the poor illiterate people at whose cost he has had his education is not worth a pie. So this university, we thought, in the hallowed name of Swami Vivekananda, should offer courses which will directly benefit the common man. Accordingly, we chose 5 thrust areas. 1, disability management and special education. And we chose the Coimbatore Center in which we are holding this convocation today as the specialized faculty center for this area. And I am proud to say that this Coimbatore has the privilege of being the first off-campus center of this Vivekananda University. Second area which we chose was Indian heritage and value education. Swami Vivekananda said that education which does not inculcate values, education that does not bring out the divinity within man, which does not take out from within the perfection which is already in man, is no education at all. It is not the amount of information which is put in the brain and runs riot there undigested all your life. It is man-making, character-building education. Once he said, religions of the world have become lifeless mockeries. What the world now needs is character. The world is in need of such a character which is one of boundless love. Every word will tell like thunderbolt. Why is it that we lack power? Knowledge alone does not give you courage and power. Although it is said, proverbially knowledge is power, just bookish knowledge is not power. Unless knowledge matures into wisdom, and this wisdom issues out through service and impeccable character of the person who serves, this knowledge is only useless tinsel. Swamiji said, therefore, we want men and women of character. We need character building. We need man-making education. So Indian heritage is an area which we have chosen as a thrust area of our university, because our educated young men and women are woefully ignorant of the glorious heritage of the Indian past. We have 2 extreme categories. One category of people who say that all that India has to offer in the ancient past, it's all useless. We have to look to the West for inspiration. The other extreme is to swing to the idea that all that we need is all in the Vedas and in the ancient wisdom. No. Swamiji said we have to make a balance of these two. We should learn from the West the power of organization, the punctuality, the work energy, the integrity of business and so on, and combine it with the wisdom of the East so that new world order could emerge. So our men and women educated in this university should know what our ancients thought about some of the momentous questions of life. Swami Vivekananda said, I want to put in motion a lever for the good of mankind, which no power on earth can stop. I want to initiate a machinery to tell people what our ancients thought about some of the momentous questions in life. And having been exposed to these ideas, let them decide their own fate. The third area which we chose was fundamental science education and research. As you know, Swami Vivekananda was a pioneer in starting fundamental science research in India. His famous dialogue in 1893 with Sir Jamshedji Tata, when they were traveling in the same ship, is well known. Jamshedji writes to him later, you may remember me as a co-traveler in the same ship, where he inspired me to start an institute in India for science education and research, where men will live with ordinary decency and cultivate sciences, both the natural and humanistic sciences. So remembering these words, we have started a school of mathematical sciences, in which we have once again chosen three important areas. Physics with a theoretical bias, for which India was justly famous, particularly Bengal was very famous for this. Second, theoretical computer science. And the third, mathematics in its pure variety, the pure mathematics. This is picking up so well in our university. The fourth thrust area which we chose was environment and disaster management. This is a very important area which is emerging in our country. And the last one is integrated rural and tribal development and management. Swamiji said, our nation lives in cottages, and we should give education and empower our tribals and rural people through education to be able to find out and solve their own problems. So now we have off-campus centers. The first one, which started in Coimbatore, devoted to the Faculty of Disability Management and Special Education. And the second faculty started later, General and Adapted Physical Education and Yoga. And this is a very important area, and recognizing the importance of this area, UNESCO has created a chair in this area in Coimbatore Campus, which is also extended to Narendrapur Campus in Calcutta. And the second is Swami Vivekananda's own ancestral house and birthplace in Calcutta. The third is the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram at Narendrapur, which is devoted to the Faculty of Integrated Rural Development and Management, in which we also have agricultural biotechnology subsumed under the School of Agriculture and Rural Development. And Ranchi at Jharkhand, we have integrated rural and tribal development and management. So varieties of courses are being offered, all of them focusing on the three criteria which I just now mentioned, and as a humble effort to actualize Swami Vivekananda's vision. So we have come reasonably far. We have completed almost 10 years of existence now, and we have approached the Government of India to declare this university as a university with a special heritage, because this university owes its origin to the vision of a great man, Swami Vivekananda, and this university has been created to fulfill a national need, and this university is run by people who are dedicated to education and dedicated to character-making, man-making education, which is so vital for our country at the present moment. The Government of India and the present Honorable Minister of Education, Human Resource Development, they have promised to look into this with sympathy and seriousness, and we do hope that with the blessings of Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna and Sharada Devi, we will soon be awarded the status of a special heritage university, which will carry the legacy and heritage of Swami Vivekananda. So on this historic occasion, when we have just concluded Swami Vivekananda's 150th birth celebration which was held all over the globe for nearly 4 years. Just yesterday, or the day before, the 11th of September, there was a beautiful bust of Swami Vivekananda which was installed in Paris. All over the globe, there is so much awakening. And as you know, on the 11th of September afternoon, the Government of India announced that every university in India will have a Swami Vivekananda chair which will be devoted to the study of the teachings and will be researching into Swami Vivekananda. Our present Prime Minister has declared that Swami Vivekananda's teachings should be studied more and more to spread harmony and peace. Because Swami Vivekananda is a person who combines himself the best of the ancient with the best of the modern. He is so modern in his approach, so rational, so extraordinarily particular about little details of the modern management, as we call it. At the same time, he is rooted in the ancient Indian wisdom, inwardness and contemplation. He wanted all his followers to combine in themselves the 4 yogas, jnana, bhakti, karma and yoga. And he said, we need the head or brains to conceive, the heart to feel and the hands to work. And above all, they should be fired with zeal, the power of holiness, and with tremendous feeling for the poor, the underprivileged, the downtrodden, and the marginalized. So our appeal on this occasion to our students, particularly those who are graduating today, to carry with them the fire of Swami Vivekananda. As one very senior Swami told me long ago when I was a boy, he showed me the picture of Swami Vivekananda and said, look, he was a blazing fire. Try to become a spark of this fire. I repeat this sentence to all of you and charge every one of these students to become sparks of the Vivekananda fire, so that wherever you go, whatever you do, you will ignite minds and you will illumine people and bring them out of the darkness of ignorance. Our country needs all of you. Our country needs men and women of impeccable character who are wise, of tremendous intellect and an all compassionate heart. Thank you.